It's Talk Funny, so size does not matter. Size really does not matter. It doesn't. Okay, Mark Bailey, can I finally get paid for this promo? And now, Mark Bailey.
Mark Bailey, Mike Miller, Talk Funny. So, Mike, when I first came here and I didn't understand Japanese, and I was told for a full-time job I applied for, I had to get a physical exam. And part of that was the visual exam. Mm-hmm. So in the U.S., you have A, C, D, O, G, H, and you have the really small version. You have to what letters?
The eye chart, yeah.
But the eye chart in Japan is all A's. It's like
it's like semicircles, right? Isn't it?
Well, it's basically
it's like a circle. It's like it looks like an. Is it A?
Well, when I took it was an A.
Okay. I took a different one.
It's pointed down.
Yeah, or is it to the right, or is it up?
It's pointed down, and then you should say
sta.
Sta.
Yeah.
So I said A.
Ah.
And then it showed me sideways, and I said sideways A. And then it showed me to the left, and I said other sideways A, kind of a V. And then the guy didn't speak English. He's just a tech. And
he's like, I don't even know what he's even saying.
Then it shows upside down A, and I said V with cross across. And we kept doing this. A, sideways A, upside down A. A.
He's like, what's upside down?
Upside down A, sideways A, V. A, V, V, A, V. Upside down V, A, V. Sideways V, sideways A. Are we finished? And he goes, you have like a minus 30 in your visual test. You're minus 30. You failed.
You failed.
I said, well, I don't even
you
know
got to go back to vision school.
He said, kondo wa ne, sta, ue. Why didn't you tell me? Say, below, left, right, above.
Yeah.
And I said, but I didn't know that in Japanese, so if I said in English, it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Didn't get the job. I'm blinder than blind Cameron. You had any experience with
eye checks? Doctors? I haven't had any
Did you have
notable.
To get a C-section on Friday?
No, I didn't have to get my C-section. I was a natural birth.
Most natural
I had crystals, and I was in the bath
natural birth
with the bath water and crystals, and I had my shaman singing, chanting while I gave birth. Yeah, it was beautiful. Singing Kumbaya. It was gorgeous.
Natural birth in Japan.
Gorgeous, and I learned about it through Gwyneth Paltrow, of course. She taught me how to do it. So,
she has like vagina shaped
steaming,
and
I don't know. It's very bizarre.
They stink. Yeah, her products stink.
Hello, Patreon.
About those products.
Hello, Patreon.
But natural childbirth in Japan is Friday C-section, and Saturday golf for the doctor. That's natural.
Yeah,
childbirth.
That's natural.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about off mic.
Yeah.
And the doctor would lecture you. I was talking off mic, and the doctor said, "You've got some choices to make with your diet. I think maybe too much beer for you, maybe a little bit too much fatty foods. Give me a second. I'm going to go outside and smoke for a second. I'll come back and tell you about your health." Okay, doctor. Why don't you sprint back in? That'd be fun. I'm going to smoke outside on the third floor in the garden. Why don't you go downstairs? Let's go to the 8th floor. I'd love to see that. Run up to the 8th floor and then come back down. Then lecture me on my health. I had to take a psych exam in the States, in New York, for my government job.
And you passed?
Can you believe it? That's why.
And you were shocked. You were like, I didn't even know.
Psych exams ain't nothing.
I don't think I've ever taken a psych exam in my life.
Do you ever obsess about someone you hate? Yeah. Next question. Yes, of course. Don't you?
But this is a New York psych exam, so they're like, well, that's natural.
Yeah, but they're and you're like, ever think about be better somebody that was your enemy who wasn't around anymore? I'm like, yeah, I was brought up in Brooklyn. Everybody thinks that. Don't you think that? You know somebody?
Sane. Yeah.
Well, you got somebody? You got a guy?
You got a guy?
I got somebody I want to get rid of. You got a guy? No, I'm asking the questions. So do you ever want to hurt yourself? Yeah, when the guy I asked to get whacked doesn't get whacked, I get ripped off. I want to hurt myself then. It's like, do you ever think, would you ever if it was you or your best friend and only one of you could make it out of the mine shaft, who would give the press conference? I'd say, well, be right at my press conference, and then I'd give it, and, it's too bad of my friend. So you would kill someone to survive? Like, isn't that what survive means? Do you ever have thoughts about suicide? I'm like, yeah, but I like myself way too much. So I would never do that. But you did think about it. So if you thought about it, so how would you do it? I'm like, let me count the ways. There's so many ways. Sleeping pills aren't that actually helpful. And then hanging is not always, it's only 80%. The gunshot wound is like, sometimes you can't pull the trigger. And it doesn't blow your brain out completely. But I think, maybe putting weights on your body and your legs, and then getting someone to handcuff you and then just drop into the pool, and then you can't come back out. I think that's probably a good way. Maybe die in my sleep, that might be good. So you fantasize about dying? No, actually, I fantasize about you dying in my sleep, and these questions end. Are we done with the questions? Yeah, you're going to talk to my supervisor now. It's like, and I got the job! Like,
well, that's because your boss was a psycho, right?
Yeah, my boss was...
We talked about him on previous podcasts.
Wild Country, that documentary was about him. Bagnish Gusram or something, some name like that. My speechwriter boss was a lieutenant for him. Mm-hmm. And then, I think I mentioned it before, and I'd be writing a speech, and then reporters are in our office asking us, well, we're the press. Mm-hmm. We're basically Jen Psaki, and that's who we are.
Yeah.
Me and my boss.
Yeah.
So anything I say goes in the newspapers. Mm-hmm. And then he was listening to a radio, the reporter's there, and the radio says 2 police officers were just shot in their car, pronounced dead, and he's clapping. And I said, Ixnay on the Appinclay, they're right here, they can hear. Reporter said, did he just applaud? Did the communications officer for Mario Cuomo just applaud? Police officers getting shot? And I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear that. And then he goes, if you don't want to be stuck, don't be a pig. You don't be stuck, don't be a cop.
This guy's working in the government.
2 women reporters go, let's go get you some Cokes and some free cheeseburgers down at the shop. Let's go. Let's get you out of here. And they're like writing stuff. And I'm like, let me see that pad. And it's, I dropped it in the water. She's like, but I have to write it down. But you don't have to write it down. And she's like, no, but what he says, I said, no, but it's off the record. You heard me when I said it's off the record? You didn't say that. Yeah, I said it. What did I not say? Off the record. You just said it. You just said, I said off the record. No, I said you didn't say off the record. I said, so I'm recording also, and I can edit that and go, I said you said off the record. Don't do this. You're going to get us both fired. But he's like anti-cop. This is in the 80s. This is not allowed. This is before they fund the police and stuff.
Yeah. Well, even today, I don't think you could get away with that as being a press director.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they would interview him. I'd always intercept. They say, we want to ask your boss, Joe, what he thinks about the latest law and what difference it will make. And I said, I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, it won't make no damn difference at all. It doesn't make any difference because laws don't make any difference. Just because you declare something doesn't change people's behavior. It's like, okay, crime's illegal now. Let's all go home. Crime's illegal. Why did you do that, Mike? It's illegal. Didn't you know that? Why did you break the law?
I just have no idea how this guy had any ties to Mario Cuomo. Like, that's a weird... That's a weird situation.
He was big in the journalism field. He was a journalist before.
But then he joined the cult?
Yeah. And then he got hired by his old friends, New York Times.
Okay.
He used to work for New York Times. And they hired him back. And he was doing like cultural, and he would do sports and culture articles. Mario Cuomo said, I need a communications officer, and he applied and he got it.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I came in, and my superior was actually, he was my boss, but my superior was a guy named Bill, and he was an alcoholic. He reeked of alcohol at like 7 a.m. in the morning, right? And I would see him on the subway. He was a customer of mine at my grocery store. And he would always complain. He's like, you did a piss poor job of putting it in the plastic bags. And I said, yeah, because I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my damn life, right? and he met me on the train, and he goes, I got a real problem. He smelled like alcohol. He goes, you got to help me. You got to come tomorrow. We got to fix, it's in Albany. We got to fix the reel-to-reel recorders. And I don't know, I'm doing radio and stuff. I'm doing radio and classical music. We use reel-to-reel, but I don't know if I can fix one. He goes, if you fix one, we'll give you a full-time job. So I said, I just have to fix one reel-to-reel recorder? He goes, maybe 2. You teach us how to fix them, but you get the full-time job. I said, so I decided I'm not going to teach you how to fix them. I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
But what do I do? And he goes, well, we have radio interns. You would hire them, and you'd be their boss. You'd be in charge of them. And so I called my friend, and he was in radio, used to splice and everything. And I said, how hard is it to fix reel-to-reel? And he goes, it's not that hard. You open everything up, and you could just see it's usually bits of tape. He told me how to do it. And he said, you clean it. If necessary, you buy a new head, and you put that in. It's not hard. I was working at a radio station. I knew how to change heads. We had 8-track players, and we had 8-track commercial machines. I knew how to change. Anyway, so I went there. I changed it in 20 minutes. And he goes, okay, I'm a man of my word. It gets you a full-time job. Come meet my boss. And I met Joe.
Wow.
And, I used to play tricks on Bill.
That's so random.
He used to play because he was incompetent. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He was incompetent.
Yeah.
Yeah, his hands shaking. Then afterwards, I used to play jokes on him all the time. So we would talk about, we had a weird dream last night or something. And he goes, yeah, I had a weird dream. We'd always walk to lunch in Albany. We'd walk through a park, go to lunch. And he just loved having lunch out of the Capitol. He said, I dreamed that I got shot in the park. It was like bam, 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 gunshots. And died. It's my dream. I'm like, wow, okay, so what do you want to eat for lunch? And we go over to the fried chicken place. It was like a soul food place. Went next door to the dime shop and I got some balloons. Blew them up.
Oh, jeez.
Kept them in my pocket.
Oh, God.
And a pin.
Oh.
Hey, Bill, look, isn't that a pretty bird? Pop, pop, pop! And he grabbed his chest. And he could have died of a real heart attack just from the shot.
Oh,
and
my.
He fell to the floor and he goes, just like my dream. Oh, my God. And I just stood there laughing and he goes, you MF, I gave you a job. And then he was a constant smoker, right? His wife told him to stop smoking. So he hid the cigarettes. He would rush in to the Capitol, his desk, front door, to get his Marlboros. He had to hide them there. Just jonesing all night, jonesing. So he'd rush in. I hide the cigarettes. I had cigarettes. He was short. I tape him to the ceiling. You know? He's like, how do I get a ladder? I said, you have to requisition it. You need a form and you need a reason. He's calling.
He knew it was you, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how that happened. Wow, but you don't really need them, right? Bill, you don't need it. He goes, screw it, I'll go to the store. I told his wife later, and she goes, yeah, God bless you. Yeah, he almost quit. But he never quit. Do you remember Raffi? There's his name, Raffi. He was a kid singer.
Yeah. I listened to him when I was a
Barney.
kid. I listened to him when I was a kid, yeah.
I forget his song. Barney was like, I love you, you love me. But
yeah, well, oh, God, I can't remember what his song was. Something.
We can see. You can see.
Oh.
I see you.
I can't remember.
Like that.
There was one about the Cantaloupe Island, or what was it called? I forget.
Well, there was one, it's like, I see you.
Yeah.
You see me. We can see. We're all three. You see me. I see you. So what I did is, back then it was cassette recorders. I put it on loop, and then I put it in the dome of the Capitol, right behind a column, right in front of his office. She's just like Raffi saying, constantly. He's like, I keep hearing this damn song. He goes out and it's just resonating in the dome. Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Stop it. He's like on his knees praying. He's like, stop it. His boss walks by and says, is there a problem here? Yeah, this Raffi. And he goes, well, who cares? You've got speeches to write. He goes, yeah, it's annoying me. Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? But it's almost like somebody had to requisition a ladder and did some Scotch tape and put it up there. He goes, that's what somebody did. You! Like, Soldier Boy. You. So that's why I don't work at the state capitol anymore.
Oh, my God.
Mark Bailey, Mike Miller, talk funny.